which includes a conversation that he had with Donald Trump, where Donald Trump, after asking him to overturn the election, to not do his job at certifying it, he says to Mike Pence, you know, you're too honest. When someone says you're too honest, that means that you want them to do the dirty thing, that you want them to do the bad thing. I mean, then on page 15
you could disagree with that. You could disagree with that, but you don't arrest somebody over it.
But you can't disagree with the fact that he knew that he had lost the election because everyone in Christendom.
You're going to try to say that Donald Trump knew he lost.
There's no way.
They're going to try to prove that in court, Jessica. There's no way he's going to be proven that he knew he lost. He still thinks he's president.
Well, then the insanity defense is available. On page 15 of the indictment, for instance, they talk about what happened in Georgia. And co-conspirator number 2, who we know is Rudy Giuliani now, tells Donald Trump, the defendant, this is a fraudulent accusation at this point, and then he still went ahead and pushed it.
Maybe he disagreed.
That's an example.
So it's like the Russian collusion thing when Schiff goes in there and gets a briefing and then comes out and says
all
there's
I
collusion.
have heard from you is Hillary Clinton, Russia collusion. You cannot move on with your life. Move on. You got a new indictment.
Move on. This is a 2.5-year-old story.
No. It's not. There's new information. We didn't have anything from Mike Pence.
You could just
the
create
fake
new
electors scheme is
Not fake.
committing
They were
crimes.
Trump electors.
And also some of his strongest defenders, like Andy McCarthy, wrote this piece in the National Review, which got taken apart.
I have 2 other people at the table.
I know, I'm
aching
so
to
rude.
speak.
I cut off everyone constantly. I don't know how any.
That was Jessica Tarlov, the liberal of Fox News, if you will, making Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld just look like the morons and misogynists that they are. You have Jesse Waters, a guy who just loves the sound of his own voice. He just loves thinking that he's the funniest guy in the room. And he's just unafraid to talk about things that he doesn't know fully about. Jesse Waters says that Donald Trump, he still thinks he's president of the United States. No, in the indictment, Jesse, you had Donald Trump saying that he was going to leave problems for the next guy, leave problems for Joe Biden. This is days before the transition of power. He knew it. He said he knew it. He didn't think he won the White House. He needed to pretend, right? He needed to claim he did so that people would try to stop the process and that he would try to cheat his way through it, because that's what Donald Trump does. But the idea that, Donald Trump thinks that he won is ridiculous. And Tarlov made that point clear. Look, go ahead with your insanity defense. And that was great because the entire table turned on Jesse Waters and laughed at him. And so, of course, what happens then? Tarlov gets on a roll, right? She makes fun of Jesse Waters. She's like, look, you're an idiot. We all know it. And so who comes to Jesse Waters back up? Oh, his buddy Greg Gutfeld. This guy is the worst of the worst. The scum that you have to, that's been sitting on the sidewalk for years, that you gotta really get a shovel and scrape this just disgusting germ-filled, bacteria-ridden slop of gooiness off the sidewalk. That's what Greg Gutfeld is. He's just this lump of skin and oxygen just burning and wasting energy on this planet. And so, of course, someone like that, when Jessica Tarlov is making fun of Jesse Waters and Donald Trump and the whole idea that he still thinks he's president, he wasn't lying. Of course, he wants to change the subject. Oh, no. We've got other people who want to talk, Miss Tarlov, is what he says. Of course, he wasn't that nice to her. We have 2 other people at the table. And you can look and see on his face the pain that Gutfeld is experiencing when Tarlov is speaking, because she's an educated woman. And Greg Gutfeld, man, this guy is the biggest piece of garbage on the planet. I would argue he is way up there. And so, of course, an educated woman speaking about how the guy who Gutfeld praises, how big of a criminal he is, how damning this indictment is. Of course, Greg isn't going to like that. Of course, he's going to want to change the subject. So really, this is just it's really, to dig a little deeper, it's Fox News trying to control the narrative of the indictment so that they can protect the GOP and the Republican Party, right? They're continuing to be that right arm of American politics, that propaganda arm of American politics, so that the executives at Fox News, and maybe some of these hosts, if they're making, tens of millions of dollars a year, so that they don't have to pay the taxes that they should be paying. I mean, that's really what this all comes down to, is like, it's always just follow the money. You've got Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld, who are the puppets for the executives on Fox News. And so, of course, they want to break the government, right? It's what Republicans want to do. Break the government, blame it on the Democrats, and then say that they're the ones who need to come in and they need to cut taxes so that the government can be, solvent, and we can get out of this deficit. But then they just come in and they sit on their hands so that the IRS doesn't get the funding that it needs, and so that these billionaires can just escape from paying taxes and avoid paying taxes, through these loopholes. So that's what this really is. It's just, sure, it's emblematic that Jesse Waters is a moron, that Greg Gutfeld and Fox News that Greg Gutfeld is a misogynist, and that Fox News has a long history of misogyny and trying to shut up smart women. But it's also deeper than that, right? It's Fox News trying to control the narrative so that they can protect the Republican Party, so that the owners of Fox News, the people who sit on the board, the executives, don't have to pay the taxes that they should be paying. So the rest of us get screwed, because I'm not making $1 million a year. You're probably not making $1 million a year. But these guys, the ones who control this narrative or try to control the narrative, they are. And they're good at it. They've got shows, where it's 4-on-1 trying to control this narrative. They're good at it, and they've got millions of people watching. But it's all about fighting back against those corrupt attempts to muddy the waters of our democracy. So if you're new to the channel and you're all about fighting back and pushing for the truth, be sure to subscribe and follow the videos in the future. Also, let me know what you guys think about this clip and about Fox News. If you've watched Tarlov before, if she's new to you, what do you think about her? What do you think about how Fox News is covering the indictment? So much more to come out from this. We are not even 24 hours into Donald Trump being indicted, and there's a lot more to come.